Hey everyone, Josh Martinez here and welcome to the how-to video. In this video, we're going to talk about larger time frames and smaller time frames. Specifically, you're going to see in my videos, I'll analyze and find opportunities on like a 1 hour time frame, daily time frame, and then we'll say there's a big reward and a huge risk. So go to like a 5-minute time frame, find your favorite entry strategy with less risk, but go after that big limit. And the question is, well, how do we do that? So that's what this video is all about. How do we take a larger time frame target from a larger time frame and then go to a smaller time frame and with less risk? So what's that process? How does that look like? So in front of us, this is the NASDAQ 100 1 hour time frame. And we're going to use this, then we're going to break it down to a 5-minute time frame. But let's talk about like a repeatable process. We believe that there's 5 things that every trade needs, okay? Number 1, we need direction. And everything that we do needs to be repeatable. So we got to follow a process. So number 1 is direction. Number 2 is going to be an entry. Number 3 is going to be a stop. Number 4 is going to be a limit. And then number 5 is going to be what's called risk management. Now, due to regulations, we're not money managers, we're not CPAs, we're not financial advisors, we don't trade for people, etc. We're educators. We can teach you and educate the first 4, direction, entry, stops, limits. We can't pick and choose your contract size. That's a personal choice you have to make on your own. But I'm just going to share with you what I like to do. So the first thing that we can do to find direction is I like to draw a hand-drawn trend line. And so how I like to do my trend lines is I just draw them backwards. So there's 3 things trend lines do, which are, number 1, they'll give you the direction. Is the market going up or is the market going down? Number 2, they'll give you speed. How fast or how slow is the market? Number 3, they'll give you U-turns. The most important thing for a trend line is to give you a U-turn. If the market touches your trend line, the market should bounce or reverse. And if it's not doing one of those 2 things, you got a bad trend line. So I just draw a trend line going backwards. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the angle that U-turns the most. Now, there's no exact science to this, but ultimately we want to find where does the market like to go U-turn. The trend line oftentimes will U-turn at, on, and, or, and around. So it's not like an exact brick wall or nothing. It's more like a rubber wall. So sometimes the market will U-turn above it. Sometimes the market will U-turn on it. Sometimes the market will U-turn a little bit below it. But it's in the general area. Now, what I also like to do is I like to copy that angle, because normally the angle that pushes the market up is usually the angle that pushes the market down. And you can just do what I just did. And that same angle gives you that market structure. So if the market comes near the top blue level, the market normally sells off to the bottom blue level. When it touches the bottom blue level, normally rallies top blue level. So it builds us some structure. And then we go, all right, well, our direction is bullish. As long as the market stays above the bottom blue level, we're going to expect the market to rally. We want an entry methodology. And so I like to use what's called a counter trend line. And a counter trend line is exactly the way it sounds. If I think the direction is up, I'll bring in a trend line that counters that direction. So if this market were to break and close above the counter trend line, I expect a bullish follow through. So what it would look like is if we close above the purple line, I would expect the market to rally to the blue level. Could I buy the market now? I could, but I would be guessing the U-turn. And guessing the U-turn kind of scares me because I've lost so much money guessing the U-turn. I like buying on confirmation, and meaning that I don't want to be the first one to buy. I don't want to be the last one to buy. I want the buyers to step in, take control from the sellers, close above the counter trend line, which is the angle that pushes the market down, and then buy the market and have it go my way right away. Now, nothing's guaranteed. There's no absolutes, no 100%, but that's what I like to do. All right, so second thing is stop placement. Usually, if this blue level pushes the market up, I just place my stop below the blue level, unless I'm using Fibonacci's or another methodology. So we look to buy a close above this purple level, place our stop below the U-turn, and then look to limit out where the market normally forms high. All of this is repeatable. We're buying at an angle where the market generally goes up. Well, like how often has it done it? Well, it's already done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? And I want to exit right below the top blue level. Why? Because the market forms highs. Well, it's already done it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Is it guaranteed to happen again? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a wizard. But what I can say is, based upon this information, I'm going to trade this pattern till the pattern fails. That's why I have a stop with good risk management. Now, the question is going to be, hypothetically speaking, what if? What if the market does close above this counter trend line? What's the risk versus and what's the reward? Well, the risk versus reward, hypothetically speaking, would be the reward would be bigger than the risk. Right? That's what we would want. Maybe adjust the stop a little bit. And we can say, all right, well, the risk is going to be, the hypothetical risk will be 1,079 ticks, and the reward will be 1,000 plus ticks. So I want the reward of 1,000 ticks, but I do not want the stop or the risk of 1,000 ticks. So what do I do? Well, number one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to acknowledge the end goal in mind, which would be resistance, which would be 30970.25, and I'm going to say about 1,000 ticks above. See, this is a 1 hour time frame, and if you go to a 5-minute time frame and you apply the same channel, when the market falls, it will create a bearish trend. And the reason why is the 5-minute time frame has more candlesticks than the 1 hour time frame. And the 5-minute time frame will only do what the 1 hour time frame says it's going to do. And if the market's going to rally 1,000 plus ticks, we should create a bullish trend. Let me show you what I mean. Now, the bottom chart, this is a 5-minute time frame. And if all I do is just do the same exact thing that I just did on the 1 hour, and I just do it and carry the information and research over, here's that uptrend, right? There's the support. I copy this, bring it up top. There's the resistance, right? And so notice how these are the same exact charts. When the 1 hour sells off, it creates a bearish trend on the 5-minute. When the 1 hour rallies, it creates a bullish trend on the 5-minute. And so, or I think it's right here. Yep, this is the same exact price movement. This bear sell-off is this bear trend. This bull rally is this bullish trend. And so what we can do is we can use that information to our advantage and say, okay, we want to take the end goal in mind of the 1 hour, and that's going to be resistance, which is going to be 30970. So we'll go 30970.25. That's my target. What do I need to see to buy the market? Well, nothing different than what happened last time. I want the market to stop going down, and I want it to start going up. And so what I can do is I can bring in a downtrend line, which will be your counter trend line on the 1 hour, but you just bring in a downtrend line. And if this market were to push bullish, very rarely will it go in a straight line. It's possible, but very rarely. What will more than likely happen is the market will create waves, make lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, and just kind of just do this over and over and over. This is where you need to have your own entry strategy. For me, I like to use intraday control pressure with one-click fibs. It's made my life super straightforward when it comes to finding the opportunities. I also like counter trend line breaks with candlesticks. Be that as it may, let's just say hypothetically speaking, market rallies, creates a brand new uptrend like so. You come in here, you bring in a counter trend line, you don't buy the first one, you buy the second one, and you go, what is my risk? You say, okay, well, you buy the market, counter trend line break, stop goes below the U-turn. Instead of risking 1,000 ticks, you buy the market, and now your risk is 264 ticks. And then from there, you go after your target, and there's your 990. And so that is a way. Now, what are the cons with doing that? Well, you're going to deal with market noise. A tighter stop means that any sort of fundamental announcement, economic speech, earthquake, any sort of like natural disaster, supply chain tweet, so on and so forth, will cause an emotionally driven market reaction. What that means is you could buy this, get stopped out, and then the market could rally up again. So if you trade off smaller time frames, you're going to have the courage to, number one, believe in the longer term move, but number two, be prepared that you're going to have less risk, more profits, but you're not going to win as much. So you're going to have courage to get back in if you get stopped out unfairly due to market noise. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always just stick with the larger time frames. And larger time frames will have larger risk, larger reward opportunities, but usually they win a little bit more. All right, everyone, I really hope this helps a lot. Hopefully it doesn't cause confusion. My name is Josh Martinez. Please keep in mind there is risk involved in trading. You should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Always keep risk management in mind. Understand that we are not CTAs, which stands for Commodity Trading Advisors. And what that means is what we're sharing with you is research. What you do with this information is completely up to you. Past performance is not indicative of future returns. What that means is there's no guarantees of a positive outcome. There's risk involved in every single trade. What I just did could lose and not work at all, period. It's very important you understand the risk involved in trading before you make the decision to be a trader. We are not financial advisors. We're not money managers. We don't trade for people. We don't tell people to enter in and exit. We don't provide customized investment advice. Look at us like a newspaper. We'll share with you our research, walk you through our trade ideas, but what you do with this information is completely up to you. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. My name is Josh Martinez.